once again to another episode of Stone Whisperer. Now today I've had a couple of requests to do what's known as an arena run in Hearthstone. Now an arena run is where you pay a little bit of gold in advance. Very often you will be able to make most of it back, and you can pick 30 cards offered to you at random to make your own deck. You don't have to collect them, but you don't get to keep them. So what I'll do is I'll quickly jump in. I will pick up a thing, and then we can get offered a hero. Now you get 3 different heroes to choose from. It is picked randomly. Now I'm not the best in the world at Hearthstone, let alone best in the world at Hearthstone Arena. So I'll explain to you the 3 heroes and I'll pick one of them. So the first one is Rin, who is a priest. Those are a healer hero class. Then you have Thrall, the shaman. They can summon totems. And then you have Uther, the Lightbringer, who's a paladin. Now, out of the 3 of those characters, Uther is probably the best of the 3 for arena runs, simply because he can add in extra minions as the game goes along. So there is another 6 or so heroes that you can choose from. However, arena will only give you 3 to start with. So let's click on Uther. You can see hero power, summon a 1/1 Silverhand recruit. So let's choose him, and we're immediately offered our first 3 cards. Now we can see down here, this is our mana curve. So you want to make sure that you have a nice balance of cards. Normally high 1s and 2s, getting down to 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, and maybe the odd 7. You don't want to have too many cards that have got a high mana cost, so 5, 6, 7, which you won't be able to play. So let's take a look, and we'll go by the best value cards, and by that I mean ones that just have more impact on the game as they're going along. So let's ignore the poor little Emperor Cobra. So that leaves us with the Argent Commander. You can attack straight away, or the Sunwalker, who's fantastic for defense. Now I will go for the Sunwalker at this time, simply because I don't know what else I'm going to get. It's a nice solid defensive card. Either the Argent Commander or the Sunwalker could be really, really good, so it's not a wrong choice, whichever one I pick. So let's go and click on the Sunwalker. So that's great, we've now got our first minion. So there we can see we now have a Novice Engineer, a Loot Hoarder, and a young Dragonhawk. Now the Dragonhawk, to be fair, is pretty much trash. So that leaves us with the Novice Engineer or the Loot Hoarder. The difference being is that the Novice Engineer is weaker, but you get to immediately draw a card. So it's actually still useful towards the later end of the game to play. The Loot Hoarder, however, will only draw a card once it dies. I'm always more partial to the Loot Hoarder, however, as I think he can still make an impact even later in the game, simply because he's got that one extra little bit of power. So we'll go for him first, and let's see what else we get. So we now get a choice again, or a Mana Wraith. We're not going to bother with that because it's quite a difficult card to play around in Arena because you will naturally get a lot of minions. So that leaves my little favourite, Abomination, or the Argent Commander. Now, an Abomination can work well depending on what deck it has. So, because it does 2 damage to all characters, it's fantastic for defending against large numbers. The Argent Commander can make an immediate impact. It does cost 1 more mana though. In this case, the Argent Commander is better value, I'd say. That's a good chance it will get some more 5 mana cost minions. But going forward now, we have to make sure that we don't get too carried away with our 6 costs. So, let's add the Argent Commander into our deck. Now, we will ignore the Silverback Patriarch, as there's 2 cards to either side which are much better straight away. So you have a big minion there, the Guardian of Kings. He can heal you up. He's got 5 power and 6 health. A nice big minion to handle. But on this side we have the True Silver Champion. That's a weapon card, and it has 4 power and 2 durability, which means you can use it twice before it breaks. It is a really good card. It does 4 damage, but also whenever your hero attacks, it restores 2 health to your hero. So you can actually kill some minions off and not take as much damage. The True Silver Champion with a Shadow Vedite, the best option to go for. It also fills in a gap here at the 4. So let's choose that. So Wisp, I'm not even going to bother with that. Eye for an eye, because it's a secret, it's very situational. You know, I could just get 1 damage in return for it. The Blessing of Might, however, can make a big difference. It gives the minion plus 3 attack, and if you combine it with, say, an Argent Commander, you've got an immediate 7 points of damage there. So I'll go for the Blessing of Might card. It gives us a 1 in our mana curve. So we now get 3 pretty good cards there to actually pick from. We have the Murloc Tidehunter, which is a 2/1 minion, but it also summons a 1/1 minion. So that's almost 3/2. You have Hand of Protection, which is to give a minion Divine Shield. And as you can read there, the first time a shielded minion takes damage, we can ignore it. It's very good. And we also have Fen Creeper, which is a taunt card. It's a nice big taunting body to help protect you. Now, the cards are both either or. For 5 mana, it's slightly on the more expensive side. Hand of Protection can protect the minion, but then we need to make sure we have minions out. So any of these 3 cards are probably good to have. I'll go for the Murloc Tidehunter though, just so it gives me a creature in the early game. Now we can see we have another 7 mana card. Again, I'm more likely to leave that until last. We have the Murloc Raider, which is a nice 2/1 minion. Or we've got Holy Light, which restores 6 health. I'll actually go for Holy Light in this case because I'm now aware that I do have a cheap minion. We've also got Loot Hoarder, Tidehunter, and I can summon 1/1s through my hero power every 4/2 mana. So getting Holy Light, it it gives us some extra health. Can maybe heal up a Sunwalker, myself, anything else later on. So let's pick Holy Light. So Redemption, again, very situational, and you've got to hope you get the right card for it, the right minion shows up. Silverhand Knight, I do like. It's again, it's a 5 mana cost card. It's a 4/4, and quite similar to the Murloc Tidehunter, actually summons an extra card. In this case, it's a 2/2 Squire. Quite a tough card. It's very nice and it can immediately give you board presence. However, Consecration is just a really nice card. It deals 2 damage to all enemies, and that includes the enemy hero, so I have to go by that one. So that leaves us now with the Venture Company Mercenary. It's a very big card, also makes it much more hard to play your own minions. We have the Young Dragonhawk card again, I don't really rate, or the Voodoo Doctor for 1 mana. It's a 2/1 card and it restores 2 health. So I'm quite happy at the moment with our Argent Commander and Sunwalker out there. Those are big beasties. So let's go for a Voodoo Doctor. Now we have the Blessed Champion. It's quite an expensive card. We also have the Pint-Sized Summoner, and we also have a Stampeding Kodo. I actually like the Stampeding Kodo in this case, as it gives us a 5 mana card. Also gives us a body on the board, so to speak, and potentially it's also going to destroy an enemy minion. The Blessed Champion is just too expensive, really, unless it's a very much a end game card that you're going to use. The Pint-Sized Summoner, great, it just won't stay on the board for too long at power 2 and toughness 2. So let us click on the Stampeding Kodo and choose that. Kodos are a bit like wheelie rhinos. So the Stormpike Commando is potentially an option. It drops you on the board and you can immediately do 2 damage with it. For 5 mana though, it is expensive and it is still weak on the health. However, the 2 damage is really good. We have that good old Blessing of Might, and we've also got Humility, which lets us change a minion's attack to 1. So that could be an enemy minion that's maybe very powerful. All 3 of these cards I'm more than happy with to keep. However, I think I'll go for the Blessing of Might. 1 cost, 1 mana, or +3 attack. It's good value. So we've got the Murloc Raider again here. I'm just going to score him out for now. We have the Wolf Rider, who I really do like. It's almost like a one-shot missile. You drop him, he charges in, you can often cause quite a bit of damage. Combined with 2 Blessings of Might, for 5 mana you've got 9 damage. However, we come back to the True Silver Champion, which is just such a good value card that it's hard to turn down at this point. We do need to be aware though that we are missing any free mana minions or spells, so that's something to pay attention to going forward. We're now on 11 out of 30 cards, so let's just pick our True Silver Champion. And again, looking at these, the True Silver Champion is still fantastic value out of those 2. So once more, our True Silver Champion. So we've got a Cult Master. Whenever one of your other minions dies, we can draw a card That's quite good. We've got a Dark Scale Healer. Restore 2 health to all friendly characters, that's including the hero. Can be good though. For 5 mana, I may be looking for something a little bit more than just that. And we've got that Adventure Company Mercenary. In this case, I'm going to go for a Cult Master, as I have no way other in the loot order of drawing additional cards each turn. It's a 4/2. I can still do some damage as well, so let's click on that. Now we have Hand of Protection, Worgen Infiltrator, or Stormpike Commando. Now, I'm very much aware of the rising curve here and the lack of free costs, so I'll actually use Hand of Protection. That will potentially let me cast it on another minion that's in play, and I can get a little bit of value out of that because it won't suffer from damage if I trade it or attack another creature with it. So let's click on Hand of Protection. We only have one spell at the moment, and if we were to use it in conjunction, that would be 6 mana rather. So in this case, I'm going to go for the Holy Light. Again, I'm never keen about these types of secrets because you just don't know who it will be active against. For all we know, my opponent might play a minion whose health is already 1. So let's pick Holy Light. And now with healing spells, we can be aware that we can maybe start looking towards more expensive spells, as we should be able to keep ourselves alive. And just because of that, I think I'm going to go for another Holy Light here. Now we're potentially getting into the annoying enemy. However, we do need to be aware about high cost minions. Or do we go for the Frost Elemental? The Holy Light, the 4th Holy Light, is very, very tempting. I'm going to ignore the Noble Sacrifice. Frost Elemental though can be very, very good. I'll go for the Holy Light, and that will certainly be the last one we pick. Now, the Spiteful Smith actually works very, very well with our True Silver champions, as if he's enraged, which means if he's taken any damage, if I have a True Silver champion equipped, that will do extra damage, so that's good, and it fits in towards the top of our mana curve here. So, we've been very, very lucky there, and actually been given a legendary choice. So Millhouse Mana Storm is an incredibly good value card for a 4/4 for only 2 mana. However, you can potentially make our opponent cast lots of 0 spells. So Captain Greenskin can give me extra bonus on the True Silver champion, but really Leroy Jenkins is a game clincher. You know, for 6 mana, he can potentially do 12 damage if I have the Blessings of Mights there. And with the Holy Lights keeping me alive until then, I think Leroy Jenkins for 4 mana, 6 power and charge, even though he summons some whelps, he's just much, much better to use. So let's take that. Now we've got some potentially lower cost minions here. We've got a 2/2 or a 1/3. Or Equality, change health of all minions to 1, combined with Consecrate. That could be a nice way to take down quite a lot of big enemies. So these 2 cards, for what their cost is, I just can't get the value out of them. And in the 2 slot, I can always just summon a 1/1. So let's pick a quality there. So we are starting to come towards the end of our mana curve, end of our deck here. We've got only 9 cards left to pick. We're also lacking a few bigger spells. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real big, but no big hitters as such that we've got. So I'm tempted to go for the Dark Scale Healer. However, I'm aware that the Stone Skin Gargoyle, could be quite good. It's difficult to tell just how good it will be. The Novice Engineer lets us draw another card, so I'm going to go for a Novice Engineer. Now, we have the Dalaran Mage, which I'll get rid of because I don't have that many spells, as I said, that will do damage. So we're left with the Acidic Swamphoods. Now for 2 mana, it's a free 2. So that's actually a really, really good value there. We do have Blessing of Kings, however. That's a +4/+4 buff to our minions. Now, we're needing to be very, very aware because we've got a gap here. And we don't want to be filled with having nothing to spend 3 mana on. But it's a tricky choice, isn't it? Do you go for the Swampoos or the Blessing of Kings? I think the Swampoos is going to have to be the choice at the moment, just so we can get a few more minions out there. Now, had I known we were about to get this, I probably would have picked the Blessing of Kings, because Argent Protector is just such a good card, because he's able to give another minion Divine Shield. Also gives you a minion, so he's in effect he's a 2/2 for 1 mana as he gives you that. So Organ Infiltrator is very good, but Argent Protector has to be it. So we now have a choice. Again, keeping in mind our costs here, we have the Stranglethorn Tiger or the Nightblade. The Nightblade can do 3 immediate damage, so that at least does something straight away. The Stranglethorn Tiger is good though. The 4 slot is just getting too full right now, so I think I'm going to go for the Nightblade. And we have a perfect card here for our 3 mana slot. That's a Harvest Golem. Probably the best 3 mana card in the game, as it's very tough. It's 2/3, but also if you kill it, it comes back as a 2/1, meaning you get 2 cards for the price of 1. So that's almost 4/4 for only 3 mana. That's really, really good value. So we'll click on Harvest Golem. Now, the best card here is the Sludge Belcher, because it's taunt, so it's a good defensive card, and also gives you another minion with taunt after it dies. So the Sludge Belcher has to be the choice, I think, because the Blessed Champion, again, it's just too expensive for what it does. There's a Sludge Belcher can stay on a board and help you out. Quality, I've already got 1 in there, so we don't really need it. So the Sludge Belcher seems to be the best choice right now. Now we have the Faceless Manipulator, the Avenging Wrath, or a Blood Knight. So we could go for the Faceless Manipulator. The Avenging Wrath, however, is also very, very good. It's so tempted to get the Faceless Manipulators. That could become another Sunwalker. It could become another Smith. It could become another Leroy Jenkins. Our Avenging Wrath can really help you out as well. Now, how many minions do we have? We have, at the end, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5. So, I think I'll go for Avenging Wrath, as that just gives us a spell to actually cast. If there's no enemies on the board, and that could be 8 damage straight away to our enemy hero. So we have the Fralmar Overseer. It's a card I don't really rate too much. We have the Dire Wolf Alpha. That's a good card. Gives you an extra bonus, but there's my old favourite. It's the True Silver Champion. We're almost guaranteed to be able to get these out, and because we know we've got 4 in them, we can certainly use it. So I'll click on the True Silver Champion in a second, and then we can see what the last card we are offered will be. So we have the Master Swordsmith. Again, it's a good card to what's known as a buff the other minions. We've got the Aldor Peacekeeper. Again, that's a really nice card, and it works really well in that free slot. But we also have the Sunwalker. Now, because I've got the 4 Holy Lights there, I think I'm going to have to go for the Sunwalker. The Aldor Peacekeeper fits in almost perfectly in here in the free slot. But I'm concerned over my late game ability, so let's go for the Sunwalker again. Let's click, and there we go. So I'm not going to click play just now because that will start a match, and I'm quite happy to leave it for another day. But what you see here is the number of wins you have. The more wins, the more prizes, and you get 3 losses, and then you're out of the arena. So, how do you think I'll do? If you've played Hearthstone, is this a good deck? What would you have picked differently? If you've never played Hearthstone, any cards there that you like the look of? Leroy Jenkins maybe? How about Sludge Belcher? Looks like me in the morning. Anyway guys, girls, and anybody else that's watching, I will leave you for now. I will make sure we get this uploaded, popped online, and hopefully when you guys see this, you can have some fun listening and guessing what I'll be picking. So take care, have a great day now everybody, thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.